Alright, hello YouTube, and we're back again today with another project that I got going on, kind of, or I'm gonna start. So basically, as you see right here are some drawings. I want to make another robot. If you have seen previous videos on my channel, I've talked about a humanoid robot which I am trying to build, and I'm still trying to build that. But as you may know, it is in no way, it is in no way able to be finished right now, and that's mainly because I don't have very much experience in electronic control of robots. I guess. I mean, I've programmed an Arduino and I've done all that stuff. I made the light blink, and I've done all that, but I've never really connected it throughout an entire system where I can control motors with a microcontroller through motor drivers, and it also has a battery. Uh, this is evident in those videos. For example, when I test that robot, which I built, I used a mechanical system where there were Legos, and that would time out the movements of the robot using Lego gears. And there wasn't any actual electronic control. Uh, but that actually was not the first time I've tried to make a robot. I have made uh, a number of robots throughout the last 5 years or so. Some of the robots which I've tried to make work better than others, but most of them have never gotten very far. But I always usually build off of knowledge with each design. And I want to go back to a simple design for a robot, basically just four wheels. And I want to get down good how to use a microcontroller and motor drivers to run the motors of a robot, and also have input from sensors as well, and just have a contained system which I could say is finished and is a functional robot. At that point, I will probably then move back to designs for the humanoid robot, which I'm still working on. For this design, I drew this out on paper just to show the basic layout of how this robot would work. And I think it would be a good idea to use this frame right here. And this frame is actually one that I made like around 5 years ago for a robot of this type. And basically what it is it is a bunch of pieces of steel in a little square, and then there's a piece of aluminum bar right here. So everything black is steel, this is aluminum, and this is a caster wheel. You see right there. And I just reassembled this right now out of the parts that I had. It was taken apart for a very long time. But basically, we would have cordless drill motors on these edges. I forget how I mounted it, but it was not a very good mounting solution. It was a hose clamp around the shaft of the motor. So around here was a hose clamp, and then this was secured to this part with duct tape, basically. This is from my humanoid robot. I just took it off for this example. This is a much better mounting solution. It's aluminum bars. I think I actually made some of these on video. I don't know. But as you can see, this is a linear actuator. And obviously I could just unscrew this and connect it to a wheel. And then we could have it like that. What I do is just make a simple platform to experiment with electronics. I'm going to try to make my own motor controllers, and instead of just using an Arduino board, I'd like to I solder a custom microcontroller circuit, and I need a very simple frame to work with. So basically the idea is I just refurbish this instead of having to make anything new. And I'll just make some of these more motor mounts, get a couple more of these motors, put them on either of the corners there and there, and then we'd be good. We'd get some wheels. Originally for this I used lawnmower wheels, but a bit of a problem with that was the lawnmower wheels had a 1/2 inch bore, and this is a 3/8 inch bore on this motor shaft. But I think I could solve that with 3D printing or some other solution. It did seem to work fine on the original design of this robot by ignoring the problem, but I like to think I've become a more experienced designer of robots in this time. Alright, so what we want to do is refurbish this to the point where I could make it usable. You can see a lot of amateur design, even more amateur than I am now on this robot platform. You see the edges of these pieces of steel are not filed down. It's covered in electrical tape to prevent it from rusting. I would obviously take it off and paint it. This piece of aluminum, you could see I just missed the hole right there. There was another hole drilled in there. No problem, I can replace this with another bit of steel, I think. And of course, ignore all these bolts. I just put them back on there really fast. I could do a neater job. But yeah, that's about it for that. Another thing that I have to keep in mind is that I'm going to be using cordless drill motor brackets like this, and I have to find some way to fit these onto here. It's probably an easy solution that just involves drilling holes. And I don't really want to spend a bunch of money to refurbish this. Obviously, I'm going to have to buy wheels and a couple more drill motors, and of course grub screws to go in those drill motors, and of course all the electronic circuitry I'm going to need. That's more stuff right there. But to refurbish this frame, I think I could use some of this metal right here. So this is a piece of square bar. This is the same kind of square bar that is in here and here. So obviously I could probably just cut that right there and replace it for there. And of course, I have some more various pieces of steel. I'm using steel just because I have it. Aluminum might actually be better for this, but I mean, this design is specifically made for steel. If I replace these with aluminum, it would be quite flimsy. And just to keep, and of course I want to keep in mind that I got to keep the weight down. So I think using all these parts in steel would be good, but after that, I probably can't be using other parts of steel like this angle bar and those flat pieces right there. I have some aluminum that I could use. These angle pieces, they're a little wrecked up, but of course this side is fine right here. And I have another one of those. There's another piece of aluminum over there. That bucket's full of aluminum, I think. And there's a piece of sheet metal aluminum over there as well. So there should be plenty of materials to do this. Obviously, I just want to get this made as fast as I can. And then I want to start soldering up some H-bridges. And that will be one of the next projects. I think whenever I can, I'm going to make another video showing about picking out various electronics and MOSFETs, which I'm going to use for the H-bridge to control that motor. And that's about all I can think of as of now. Mainly what I gotta do is I just gotta cut that piece of metal, put it in there, and we're good. Goodbye for now.